afternoon, good evening, whenever you are tuning in to visit us here at the Women of Wine Country show on the Voice of San Joaquin. I don't have my cheat sheet, but whoa! And I left my music on. Woo! Hey, I like my intro music. It's good. Yeah, it is. My friend Christine Taunton with the Sweet Taunts came up with that. It's a custom intro, so I'm very fortunate. So you are joining us at the Women of Wine Country. I am Terry Wells Brown, your host, the author of the series Women of Wine Country, and it's amazing. I have a beautiful guest here today, Breanna. I said it right, even though you said don't say it that way.
It's kind of an awkward name. Some people it doesn't come out natural.
Well, and I think as Americans, we tend to burglarize anything,
yeah,
right?
Breanna.
Breanne is what I thought.
It's Breanna.
Breanna.
Yeah, Breanna. And then I've always gone by Bree because it's just easier.
And you look like a Bree. Like you're a Bree. Like you're easy and breezy.
Somebody once labeled me as the cheese girl. So.
Oh, no. Well, I wouldn't. I would label you as the wine girl, not the cheese girl. But cheese is good too, and I like brie. And you serve amazing brie at your place, so
yes, we do.
It's good.
Yeah.
So I have Miss Breanna, otherwise known as Bree Woodyard. Yes, Woodyard. Hey, I got that right. Yeah. Woodyard, and she owns Uncorked in Woodbridge, California. And many of you know this, and some of you don't, that her establishment, Uncorked, which is a wine bar and a tap room, is also featured in my books as poured. Because when I first started writing, I did not know you. You didn't own it yet.
No.
And I wasn't comfortable putting Uncorked in the book, but now I wish I had been able to, because
so
that
cool,
would have been cool. Yeah.
No, I like how you went with poured.
Yeah, poured. I took me a long time to come up with that. I was going to call it corked, I think is what I was going to call it, and that wasn't going to work. So welcome to the show, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. You're always so generous with everything. I think it's amazing that
you're so
you
sweet.
Give to the community so much.
Oh,
and
that's so
you're
nice.
like the, matriarch.
The mom. I'm
mother.
the grandma.
Well, however you
identify.
It, but I think it's really amazing what you do for our little community.
Thank you.
We're right next to Lodi, and sometimes people have a tendency to feel like Woodbridge is Lodi, and maybe when you live there, it feels like it, but we are our own.
We are. Woodbridge is our own community, and I like to do anything I can to support the community residents, but also the businesses as well. Absolutely. So we're a Woodbridge business too, and we're also we're like the hub of the wine country area, in my opinion. So, and we're like
diamond in the rough.
We
That's
are.
What I always feel like.
I like that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I want to dive into how you became the owner of Uncorked.
Okay. So I've lived in Lodi my whole life. We have a 13-year-old son. His name is Camden. And so having a middle school student during this time, can be challenging, but he's amazing. He's learning the guitar. So we have performers that come in and on Friday nights. So one of the performers is actually one of his teachers. So that's
so you
cool.
have live music every Friday night?
Every Friday night.
And what time do you usually have them?
7:30 to 9:30.
Okay.
Occasionally with whatever a holiday may boost, or like wine and chocolates around the corner. So that Friday we're not going to do music because
you'll be so busy.
Everything we have to set up for you.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I have my lovely Scott, and then him and I, we have the business together. We live together. We're not married, but one day.
What's the holdup?
I don't know. Ask him that one.
Oh, okay. It's a him thing, not a her thing. Okay.
Well, maybe.
Well, let's start a campaign. Whatever. Okay, now the truth comes out, right?
We have also his two daughters, Emily and Katie. Okay. Katie lives in San Francisco, and Emily currently is in Scotland. She's doing her master's over there.
Wow.
So she worked with us during the summer, and it was sad for me to leave
I remember her. Yeah.
When she left, I was like, no.
Don't go.
Please come back. But,
So how long have you and Scott been together?
We have been together 6 years.
Okay.
This end of summer, we're going into 7 years. So
awesome.
Yeah, lots of journeys together.
Yeah.
And then we have our dog, Chloe, and we're very pet friendly.
We love Chloe.
We encourage having the dogs join us, from time to time, as long as they're well behaved.
Right. Right.
No grumpy pants in there, but
socialized animals.
Yeah, socialized. But so I've been in restaurant industry for 16, 17 years.
Which is half your life.
I know, I look so nice, huh?
You do. You look young.
But I started real young. It was a summer thing. My mom put me straight to work out on the Delta at the riverboat.
Oh, cool.
And I was a busser for all through high school. And then I got shipped off to be a server at one of the other local places. And that was kind of where it ended up. I just dove into it. So I worked at Royce Farms Barbecue for 6 years, and then I ended up at Woodbridge Inn Steakhouse.
I remember
was there
that
for 8 years.
Were you a bartender there?
I was one of the head servers.
Oh,
also
okay.
bartended. That was really where my Woodbridge roots kind of began. Yeah, absolutely. I also have another sister, and her name is Kim, and then I have my sister Brittany that I was raised with. And so in meeting Kim, she and she's 5 years older than I am, and I never knew about her until a couple years ago.
Really?
And it was me going into Uncorked for a meeting, and she was there, and she's known who I was, but she was kind of we met each other at Uncorked. And
really?
So
now,
kind of like
is this you same dad thing or what?
We have our mom is the same mom.
Same mom.
Yeah.
Okay, but she knew who you were and you didn't know about her.
No, I did not know about her. So
Whoa.
Going back to like the roots of Woodbridge Inn and being in Woodbridge, I left being a server because I went into the real estate community for 5 years, and during that time, that's when I met Kimberly, and she ended up letting me know, she kind of followed me for a lot of years. So she knew where my potential was in the industry. And when she knew that it was for sale, she connected me with the previous owner. And that was kind of where like my heart fell back in love, and we came back. So
wow, that is a big story.
It's kind of like a personal, buying the business and getting back into it was very personal for me.
Sure. So I have to go back to the sister thing, because that's like a big
it's so
deal.
much fun. I always knew that I was like, my mom and my sister used to always say when we were kids, you're the one that was born under a rock, because like I was just always the one that was, over here, and then
different than
very different. Extremely socializing. Like I love people.
Right,
and,
you do. It shows.
And I do get that from my dad. And not to say that my mom or my sister, they're not social, but I'm like on
that
the
gregarious,
extreme
welcoming,
level. Yeah, absolutely. I love.
And so Kimberly shares that with you.
She and I share that. Yes.
Wow.
And it was kind of nice to know that how there's people say that there's the like middle child syndrome or whatever. All of a sudden it clicked. I was like,
you are the middle child.
I'm the middle child, so it makes sense.
Stuck in the role of the firstborn.
Yep.
And so she knew about you. So what was it like then? So you met her at a meeting.
Well, her and I had a mutual friend, and Dee Yates.
Oh, yeah.
And so her and I swam briefly together in high school, and that's how we first met. And then we had, mutual friends throughout the years, and they knew who I was the whole time. There was, like a small group that was a little older than I was that they knew who I was. So when I started working at Woodbridge Inn, it was just kept quiet because Kim said, she doesn't know anything and we don't want to upset her. So the girls would come in and spy on me. And I actually have a picture on my Facebook when I was a server. And I took a picture, the three of us together.
And you didn't know?
I didn't know. So when I went to Woodbridge Uncorked for my meeting, Dee was out front. And she grabs me by the arm, pulls me in, and takes me straight to Kim. And she goes, "Look who I found out front." And I'm just saying hi. And I'm thinking to myself,
this is weird.
Two, they've had a lot of wine today.
Yeah, which happens a lot in Woodbridge.
So we were just, we started talking, and then they kept me there longer. And before I knew it, all of this information was shared. And
Kim
it's
just told you?
No, because she looks identical to my mother. So it is amazing how you are, you were raised a certain way, and you see what you want to see.
Yeah.
You don't see anything different. I didn't even, and as soon as she said something, it was like, my eyes, all of a sudden, I'm like, you are identical to her. You have the same face, same everything. How did I not see it before? But it wasn't something that I saw. So,
well, if you're not looking for it.
Yeah.
Right?
That was really what kind of started the foundation and the reason for why I came back to
Uncorked had such a
Uncorked.
special place in your heart.
Exactly. And Woodbridge always had a special place in my heart. Woodbridge Inn, I used to say to my customers, I'm like, these walls feel like they're my walls.
Yeah.
This floor feels like it's my floor.
Yeah.
These people feel like my family.
Yeah.
And, when you work in that industry, there is a gratitude that is received from your customer, but it's also emotional too.
Yeah.
And so it was hard for me to leave. It really
I
was.
bet.
But then I expanded my social network within a completely different industry, and which I love deep in my heart,
So you went to work with your sister then?
No, actually, when I left Woodbridge Inn, I went to doing home loans.
Oh,
and
okay.
so I did loans, and then I veered off and went into the title industry because I got recruited for a sales position. And basically, you're just, you're building relationships, and you're connecting people, and you're helping people.
Yes.
But you're also socially involved in a lot of, events and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of community work is done.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, the real estate industry is amazing as far as community work goes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I loved it. There was a passion behind it. I still do. But it's funny how you go from being in like a restaurant career and you build that foundation of service, and how it is transferable to every job. It really is.
So then your sister finds
she's just an added bonus.
She is a bonus, yeah.
Because now it's so fun because I can call my younger sister Brittany when she's traveling to work, and that's her and I. That's usually when we have our time is in the mornings, and then.
So I'm going to stop you here for just a second. We have a little surprise for you, Bree. We have some of your fan club here. And, well, maybe they're not ready to come in. Yep, here they come. So we have a little surprise for you.
Oh, how
You
fun.
are a great addition to Woodbridge. We love you.
Oh,
You've been
thank
so
you.
amazing. And so we'd like to present a Valentine
How sweet.
for you.
Hi, sweet. How are you guys?
So we have, go ahead. No, go right ahead.
Valentine greetings from the Portsman we bring. Now here's what we're going to sing. Heart of my heart, I love you. Life would be naught without you. Light of my life, my darling, I love you. I love you. I can forget you never. From you I ne'er can sever. Say you'll be mine forever. I love you.
So sweet.
Yay!
Great job.
So that beautiful serenade, I guess is what you would call it, was by our Stockton Portsman Barbershop Quartet. That's what I thought. I had it right.
Chorus, right?
Chorus. Oh, I'm so sorry. And so what we'd like to let you know is that they are available for singing Valentines. And for $60, you get 2 great love songs, a rose,
And a card
with
with your sentiments.
your sentiments. So, and if you there was a discount, an early bird discount. So get a hold of them at valentine@stocktonportsman.org, or you can call them at 209-881-7464. Right?
Yep.
Did I get that right, guys?
That's right.
You guys are
Cool.
amazing.
Thanks for coming
Thank
down. That was a good
you.
surprise.
Yeah.
Early Valentine.
Both of my favorite Woodbridge girls deserve it. So
Aw.
Yeah, well, and I would love to have you guys come on sometime and just talk about what you guys do, because I know you do some amazing things. Besides just this, you do amazing charity work too. You're such a pleasant gift for all of you do veterans events and all kinds of stuff.
And we got to have you guys as a nice special edition a couple of times. So it was
At the Woodbridge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really nice.
So yeah, awesome, you guys. Thank you.
thanks for letting us drop in.
Yeah, is there anything that you'd like to share and let us know?
Not at the moment. Just
No?
buy a Valentine and make your Valentines a very special event.
Oh, I agree. And let's do this. Let's have you tell us who you are, each of you.
Oh, well, I'm Al Walter. I'm the Chapter Development Vice President for the Portsman and the tenor of Toonstruck Quartet.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Bill Litz. I direct the chorus, and
I'm Greg Willis. I sing bass with the chorus.
And I'm Nancy Hennifer, and I'm the newly installed president of the Stockton Portsman Chorus.
Ooh, newly installed president, a woman too.
And singing baritone.
And probably the only female president in the Barbershop Harmony Society.
Okay, we're gonna have to have you guys back on. So I'm scheduling you guys for March. So Al, let's get together, and I'd love to have you guys back on, but you got to come too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Okay, so I'm going to say it one more time. For Valentine's, for singing Valentine's for your loved one, we're going to get a hold of the Stockton Portsman Barbershop Chorus, and you can reach them at 209-881-7464 or valentine@stocktonportsman.org. And if you move now, you'll be able to get an early bird special. For $60, you get two love songs, a custom card, and 2 roses, correct?
Just one.
One rose. Sorry, one rose. Bring me the second rose.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Nice
Awesome.
little treat.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And then we'll look to have you guys on soon.
All right.
Well,
Thank
Al,
you.
Al, all I know is that when Scott finds out that you did this, he's gonna have to up his game for Valentine's Day.
Yes. So is
I was
Dawn.
going to say from Scott, but he's got to take care of you.
That's right. That's right. Awesome.
That was
Isn't that
so fun.
cute?
Yeah.
So we
I
weren't
love
sure if it
them.
was going to happen, and then we weren't. Well, first it was going to happen, then it wasn't going to happen, and then he got a hold of me today and said this is going to happen. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
No,
That's why
it was nice when you had Mrs. Claus and
Oh,
Santa,
yeah.
and you guys came down and we had everybody.
Yes,
in
when
there,
we did
'cause
the Good Day
sound-
Sacramento.
Yeah, the sound actually
Yes.
when they're inside our building with the brick walls.
Oh, yes.
it sounds actually really nice.
Yeah, it really does.
It
I have to
goes
say,
around nicely.
It really sounds
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, is all the music sound that good?
Some can be a little, we have one group that comes in that can be quite loud.
Okay.
Because of whatever instrument they're playing. So
Yeah.
really it does play more, I guess, what do you call it? Like a voice, just acoustic.
Oh, I see.
More
Okay.
acoustic sound
Yeah.
sounds a lot better in there rather than a full band
Oh,
set. We
yeah.
just can't accommodate that.
Yeah, that's
really.
just too loud. It's
Yeah.
too reflective,
When
right?
you're trying to enjoy conversation and then
Right.
you are shouting at your
Right.
guest across
So
the way.
your acoustical guitar with vocals is probably your ideal musician.
Yeah, we plan for they're ideal, but we do plan for some rock the house music.
Yeah, because you
It's
got to
just
do
fun.
it every now and then,
Yeah, it's
right?
just fun once in a
Yeah.
while. You got to have a a little more fun on a Friday night. But,
I agree.
yeah.
So, okay, so let's go back to, so how
I
long
know.
have
I'm
you
like, I don't
owned?
even remember where I.
Yeah,
where
no,
I
it's
was.
okay. So you met your sister and she told you about Uncorked.
Yep.
And so then what made you decide to go ahead and buy it? I mean, you'd never been a business owner before, right?
No, I felt like I had just strong roots behind the industry, and it was just like sometimes you're just driven. There's like an inner passion that you can't disagree with. It's just like it pulls you right into it. Sometimes, I lay in bed at night and I think to myself, you're always putting yourself in an uncomfortable position. Like some people like to stay comfortable all the time.
Right.
And I'm constantly moving around. I'm constantly growing. So I have a lot of anxiety a lot.
Hey, you know what? With taking chances comes anxiety. I know. It's true.
So it felt right. The building feels right. There's a special feeling that every day that I walk through those doors that feels like it's the right fit right now. This is part of my life. This is part of the journey. I'm supposed to meet all these people.
Yes.
And I think about that when I go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've met and every person that I've touched along the way, I feel like I was supposed to meet them.
Oh,
So,
I love
yeah,
that.
I embrace it. I really
That's
do. I try
great.
to embrace it, but
So, well, you've been a great asset
you.
to our community. So, and now the couple that you had bought the business from, how did that go? Was it a smooth transition? Because I know both of them, they're great people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And really, we stay in contact. So
Yeah.
that
I know
part's
they
really
come to your
nice.
events that you have. They'll come.
It was very easy. It was nice.
Yeah.
I think it was also equally important that there was the heart and passion behind handing the business over, because it's not just about being a place where you can come have a glass of wine or a beer. We actually have winemakers that work hard for the wines that they make for our community, and they're represented in our place. And I have a strong heart for representing them, and I want to be a great space for them. I want everyone to be proud when they're in there, just as much as I'm proud.
Exactly. So now, Uncorked, can you tell me a little bit? So, there was a winemaker there at the last event that I was at, and I don't even think it was an event. We were just there eating and drinking, and he was there, and it was Maley, I think Maley.
Yeah, Todd Maley.
And he was walking around with his wine, and it was kind of neat. So does Uncorked serve as like a tasting room for wineries that don't have their own tasting room?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
so
great.
that was the nice kind of added feature when that was really initially what it was. The beer just kind of evolved because craft beers have exploded. And that was something that when Katie and Austin owned it, Austin implemented the beer.
Okay.
It was always originally a tasting room.
Okay.
So and I love wine. I really didn't like much beer, and now I'm drinking more beer than I ever have.
Isn't that funny? But beer has come so far.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
It has. Yeah. But I'm still learning. Everyone's learning. You're always learning when you're tasting wine or beer or anything in general. But the winemakers that we started off with was Todd Maley with Maley Brothers, Michael Clauda. We have Hunter's Oak, the Grady's. And then around May, June, we included McCollum Cove, and they are not growers. Everyone else is a wine grower and winemaker. So there is different styles out there, but everybody equally, has the passion and drive to create good wines for the Lodi area and represent the wonderful or livable, lovable Lodi.
Yeah. So all of the wines that you do feature are all Lodi appellation wines.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I want to say some of the grapes, like Hunter's Oak, may have some grapes that are grown Clements area, but still, that's to me, that's
it's our local. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All of the sub appellations around us are still,
Absolutely.
I consider those still, like we have McCollum sub and all of these, and they're still local. It's still part of our appellation. Yeah.
So they just don't have wineries and tasting rooms of their own.
Right.
So it's a great way for us to be able to provide that. And, Cellar Door downtown is a place that
they do that as well.
They do that. I think Wine Social. I haven't been to Wine Social in a while.
I think you're right. Yeah. yeah. They do the same thing.
Yeah,
Provide a
so
tasting room.
it's nice to be able to have a space for them to go to, because not everybody has the luxury of having that brick and mortar that you can bring your guests
for
to.
the smaller wineries, the smaller winemakers, the smaller. I mean, it's basically you're just taking care of the micro businessman, right?
Yes,
it's like because all of our wineries are pretty much small wineries.
Yeah,
we have a few big ones, but they're mostly boutique wineries. And so it sounds like you're dealing with even the micro wineries, which is great. That's because they all need a place.
Absolutely,
and there's room for everything.
And they have their own wine club memberships. We have wine club membership. They have their own websites. We have our website.
Right.
So you can easily, with some of them, you can absolutely get their wines from our tasting room, which we would love to happen, always. But they also have their wines available for purchase at local supermarkets, and other places and restaurants actually too. I've seen quite a few, like McCollum Cove is in a few restaurants in Lodi.
Cool.
I've seen the Grady's, out. Mealy, I'm not so sure. Michael Clauda, yes. I actually went out to that great, I think it's Afghan food out in Flag City.
Okay, I haven't been out there.
It's Kebabi Go or something like that. I could have the name completely wrong. Don't hold me to it. But
yes, I know what you're talking
their
about.
Wines, and I'm like, hey.
I didn't know they were out at Flag City. That's where they ended up.
Right next to the
And they're
Starbucks.
like good.
They're really good.
Yeah.
I love food, so I'm constantly, when I see something that's different, I'm
You're like there. Yeah.
But I let them know. I said, I'm Bree, and I own Woodbridge Uncorked, and Michael Clauda. We are the tasting room, and I just, I think it's really neat that I'm seeing his wines here. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
That's way cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, and then so it's kind of the same thing with the beer. I've noticed a lot of the beer that you have is like 5 windows.
We do a lot of craft beers throughout all over the state. Some Oregon, really? Some are from Colorado.
Okay.
It's really the demand for the beers. I listen to my beer club a lot
and
you
have
my customers.
Yeah.
And so I know which ones are their favorites, but I do like to switch it up just so it creates some change. The downtown breweries, they're strong, they're holding their own, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't bring them to Woodbridge.
Right.
So I switch off with everybody.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I have the greatest relationships with them, because if I'm ever in a pinch, let's say I run out of a keg, I can call somebody and they'll have a keg ready for me instantly.
That's great.
Yeah. Grant down at Idle, as soon as I bought the place, he came down and he was like, Bree, if a CO2 tank blows on you or if something happens, like, call me, I will come down. And so the camaraderie of knowing that we are different. We're extremely different. We are very different from a normal tasting room for wines. And then we are completely different from, the tap rooms that you normally go to. So I'm trying to, mirror them in their own way.
Gotcha.
And equally represent everybody and grow them. So I have Liana, my bar manager, and I really kind of push her on the beer side, and I'm really kind of more trying to focus on the wine side, because sometimes you got to you have to delegate. Right. You can't do everything.
Right.
So,
well, and it's good that you have somebody that's they're gonna really know what they're talking about. One thing that can take that stock off of you, so that you can focus on the thing that you want to focus on.
The one thing I remember, like when I bought that place, that stuck really strong in me was I was an employee. I was, part of a transition in a restaurant purchase when I was explaining to you how I felt like these walls were my walls and that floor is my floor. These customers are my family. That was super important that I let my staff know that I get you.
Got it.
I know, so I'm not, I want us to be a team. I'm very, strong about that. However, in doing that, I also have to be careful that I am the boss.
Right. It falls on your shoulders.
I can't be hanging out and being best friends with everybody. But, I think we have a great dynamic in there.
You've got a wonderful
staff. And customers, it took me about 2 weeks to fully win over the beer club group, because they're there. Well, they're there every day, and so, some people just don't really appreciate change. And,
now you got got a lot of Flight Lounge. When Flight Lounge went away, you got a lot of their customers, didn't you?
Well, Philip actually got them first.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Because Flight Lounge closed. They still had the bar. And then I think he got everybody for about a year. So when I took over, I'm sure, just like, everybody, some people are, hey, let's do this. This is a fun, positive thing. And then some people just don't
want change,
and,
especially us old folks.
Yeah. I don't think you're old.
Well, I'm just saying,
No.
I love change personally, but my husband, I have to pull kicking and screaming, right?
So I always try to be myself, and sometimes that can be, Scott pulls me in. He's like, okay, you cannot be out there dancing to the music. I'm like, why? Why?
I know. Like you're supposed to act like a grown up or what?
So other than that, I've been honest and very friendly with all of our customers.
No, you are. You have been such a positive.
I want people to want to come back.
You do, and people do want to come back.
Even if we have a bad night.
Do you know that as a MAC board member, so for those of you who don't know, the unincorporated towns have, some of them that are lucky have municipal advisory councils that are loosely for their city council, and we report to our supervisors. And I'm on one of the MAC board, and Al, who just left, is on the MAC board too. We hurry through our MAC board meetings so we can get to the Uncorked and have our beer and your cheese platter.
Yes. So Liana, your guys' last meeting.
Yeah, it went late though. That wasn't her fault.
Well, she texts me and she says, as long as you're okay with it, because sometimes those days, it just depends. It's just quiet right now until the other businesses open up. I think a lot of times people forget about Woodbridge. We're on the furthest corner of town.
January is a lag too. Yeah, it's always a lag.
Well, I like being home and cozy.
Well, and that's it. When it starts warming up, though, and you'll see more people, and when the other businesses open
exactly.
up too. But
so she asked. She said, as long as they're texting and I know that they're going to come. Are you okay with me staying here?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, call me. I'll come down.
Yeah,
I try to be there as much as I can, but the weeks that I have my son, I do like to make sure that I'm still being a mom,
being home at night.
With him because it is a bar atmosphere, and it's easy to to stay late.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah,
and I'm the kind of person, if my guests are enjoying themselves, I'll easily stay open another hour.
Yeah.
And that's not, staff, they're going to do regular protocol.
Right.
But if I'm there, I think sometimes on a Friday night, they're like, oh, we wish Bree would have left because we have to stay till 11 now.
We have to stay. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
I am not one. If there is good vibes, keep the vibes. I am not shutting it down and throwing people out. I
because
don't like
that's what they'll remember.
I don't like
they'll
that.
remember that they got stopped.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we enjoy you so much that, like I said, we tried. Now, this last meeting, we had so much on our schedule. We came in late and they were already like shutting it down. Yeah. And so we're like, it's okay. We went over to the crossing, which is fine. And it's a very exciting time in Woodbridge. We have 2 new places that are opening up. Mm-hmm. And we have the Oddfellows that are opening, which are amazing guys. I love them. They're not even open yet, and they've already been amazing community members. Mm-hmm. And then we have Murdakas that are coming, which is the family who owns
my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, it used to be the Woodbridge Inn.
I'm so excited.
I know it's going to be like a high-end Italian steakhouse, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to see what they're doing either.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
But I want to stay kind of focused on Uncorked here, and I want to talk about some of the events that are coming up because we're going to run out of time before you know it. So let's talk about what you have going on besides wine and chocolate. What else do we have going on?
So we do tap takeovers. So the next tap takeover for beer fans is going to be February 12th. And we're doing a collaboration with Alpine and Green Flash with Lagunitas also because they're from the same distributor, but the reps came in and they want to kind of host their own big party.
Tell us what a tap takeover looks like.
Tap takeover, expect 4 to 5 of the beer lineups. We have 11 beers on draft. So that selection of beer is just dedicated to those to that brand of beer, a brewery that's coming in, and then they'll have a representative that comes in and usually brings swag, stickers. If I can get them to bring T-shirts and hats and fun stuff like that, I usually, for all the beer club that comes, I'll give them like tickets.
Okay.
And then we'll do like a fun raffle, and then we can like, yeah, it's very fun. And so that is like a nice, fun addition to our beer club that's there.
Okay.
Wine club is just a little different, but beer club,
your beer people and your wine people are a little
completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, different parties. So
Yeah.
we do have that. We're going to have, music on
Yeah.
Friday nights scheduled, and then
So that's
I'm trying
February
to think.
12th.
February
And are you
12th,
doing
yeah.
any kind of special food that night or anything? Because you did those barbecue oysters that one time, didn't you?
So we'll do the barbecued oysters for like wine and beer club
Oh, I
parties,
see.
and
Okay.
then we will, we usually we just get a bunch, and when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
I think we did Father's Day with you last
Yes.
year.
Yeah, that
Oh
was fun.
man, if you ever get a chance to do one of her Father's Day brunches,
Yeah,
to die.
and that's one thing that I started the brunch with Bree. It's not that I'm trying to be this restaurant. I just want to create a buzz. I want you to want to come
Yeah.
here and try something different
Yes.
and experience something different. It's about
Yeah.
the experience, and so I kind of pull these ideas together and things that I love.
Yes.
and I'll create what I can with the use of my small kitchen.
Yeah.
And it's always usually just a one set
like your
menu and
pizzas, they were little
the breakfast pizzas.
Those
Yeah.
were to die for,
Yeah.
girl.
And I have a convection oven in the back, and you just build on top of a naan. Like, how cool is that?
It's
And I
awesome.
practiced it at home, and it was like, there it is. I'm doing this.
It was good.
And it was fun. Yeah, it was definitely
good.
fun.
And then I liked when you did the barbecue outside too. With I think you had a catering company come and barbecue outside.
That was
or-
actually Oddfellows.
Oh, that was the
Yeah,
Oddfellow
that was
guys.
Oddfellows. That was
Oh.
Dave Royce. So he
Okay,
has
yeah,
the
yeah.
Royce Farms
yeah,
barbecue.
I met Mrs. Claus met him at Christmas.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good. I love what you're doing,
Yeah.
and I love things that are like out of norm. Like what you're doing is something it's unique, and it's not the same thing that you're going to get when you go to this place to eat and that place to eat and that place to eat. It's different, and it's homemade, and it's not forever and ever. Amen. It's this one time, like you said, you buy X amount, and when they're
Yeah.
gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
And I like that. To me, that's like different. It's
And what
you
we're
know,
going to be doing this year that's different, the brunches with Bree are going to occur during like wine club pickup parties
Gotcha.
and beer club pickup parties. So
Gotcha.
they won't be every month, but you will want to look for them, because when we do have them, if it is a wine event, like when Maylee, that was when I first kind of had that idea. I'm already bringing the people here. How
was
can
smart.
I get a winemaker in here that also is going to be able to benefit from the guests that are already coming?
Yeah.
And then that gives them an opportunity. So I've done it twice. I want to be able to have everybody get an opportunity to do
it was
that.
packed.
So, yeah.
It was packed.
Yeah, it was packed.
Well, we're doing a monthly Women in Wine Country brunch now. And February is our first time.
Oh,
so
fun.
we'll make sure that we've already got like the 4 months scheduled, but
Yeah.
we'll make sure we get you scheduled with one of the
Absolutely.
times that you do it as well.
Oh yeah, I'll send you
You
some
send
of
me your
the
calendar.
updated-
Yeah.
for the year, because
Yeah.
we try to forecast out what we can.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
yeah,
Because we got
so-
a pretty good sized group that shows up now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So then we have the tap takeover on February 12th.
tap takeover, wine and chocolate.
Wine and chocolate. So let's talk a little bit about that, because wine and chocolate is how I started Women in Wine Country. It was like the
That's what
first
you
event
said.
we did. So when I started Women in Wine Country was a long time ago, and I was working for somebody, an almond grower, and I traveled around quite a bit and interacted with people from all over the world. And when I said I was from the Zinfandel capital of the world, they always thought I was in Napa, right? Because they didn't understand what that meant. And so I formed Women in Wine Country and the Facebook group with the idea that I had a handful of prominent women in the area, and we would go to events and film ourselves, and then we would upload it to a YouTube channel and share it all over Facebook and do all the things to try to promote our area. Because I've always been very community minded. That's just that's just how I am. And of course, that kind of, so our first event was the wine and chocolate. And it was the first time I'd ever gone, because most locals, if you're local, you don't go to it because everybody from everywhere comes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's just
big,
like chaos. There's like
chaos.
limos everywhere and drunk people who aren't used to being around wine everywhere. And you stay away. Like most of the locals stay home. But we all came out during it. And it didn't quite work out as well. The event was amazing. We had a lot of fun, but the doing it that way, writing the books is so much easier. These women are way easier to handle. Those women weren't, especially when you throw some wine in, like it's kind of sketchy. But anyway, so what do you have planned for Wine and Chocolate?
So what we decided this year, I was able to attend last year just so I could see how Philip had it set up.
Oh, I
because
see.
there's 5 winemakers in there. So that's one kind of really fun,
Wow.
great stop for us is you're getting a lot of tastings from
Yeah.
different people. And there's 5 stations in there.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, okay, I got to make sure that I have like the correct accommodations for everybody. Last year, they had Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory who was down giving and also selling their product for the chocolate portion.
Okay.
So I have them again.
Oh, good.
And which was really nice because I was able to have their daughter, Molly, she worked with us for a little while. And then girlfriend got herself a promotion. So I lost her, but that's okay. Life is about growing.
Good for her. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and then Squeeze Burger Food Truck will be there on Saturday.
Okay.
I also have live music. So American Honeys will be playing on Saturday from 12:30 to 2:30.
Okay.
And then we have Dave in the Box on Sunday from 12:30
Wow.
to 2:30. No food truck on Sunday, just because everybody's kind of moving around everywhere. But yeah, we'll have wines for
Man.
sale. We'll have, wine specials, and
You're going to be packed.
going to be
you know
packed.
that.
There won't be any seats or tables to enjoy yourself at because we have to have maximum standing capacity.
Oh, so you're
everything will
cleaning
go
everything
downstairs.
out. I see. And you're gonna close
That's
off
why
that.
Friday we're not doing music because we're taking all the furniture and putting it downstairs.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So it'll just be standing room only.
standing room only.
And
Yeah.
so last year, did they do the same thing, or is
They
this?
did. That's
Yeah.
how I was looking around and I thought, how, in my mind when I was thinking about it, how is he going to fit everybody?
Yeah.
But then sure enough, they had everything pushed down. So I said, well, we're doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
However, I'm kind of reorganizing, putting the band in a different area, moving the tasting rooms a little bit more like around each other and more broad space so that it does allow for you to kind of move around more.
you have the big bar. So the big bar isn't going to be where all the tasting's going to be. You're going to set up like
No.
stations for the tasting rooms away from each other.
Yeah, and underneath the bar, I'll have, we'll have the wine sales going on underneath. So
Oh,
I'll have
I
all the
see.
cases kind of displayed with all of the information.
That's smart.
I really don't know what to expect as far as events like this, as far as people buying
how much
large
wine.
amounts of wine.
Yeah.
I think really it's about Lodi having the experience.
Right,
It's
and
about
getting the exposure. Yeah.
People are already paying for that ticket price,
Yeah.
and I think the thought process is, let me get as much as I can get, for that price.
Yeah, I was going to see how much it is. It's $100.
And they did do something a little different for Sunday. So Sunday, you only want to go for one day, they're
45
only
day.
offering the Sunday.
45,
Because
that's a
I'm
good
sure
deal.
on Saturday, I can't imagine going on Sunday. I know I would be
That's
laying
a really
over.
good deal. 45.
Unless you're, apparently I'm not wine tasting properly because you're not supposed to be hungover.
I know you're supposed to
Yeah.
spit out the wine when you're doing that big of an
It's
event.
not easy. You can't
No, I
spit
know
it
you
out.
don't want to. I
You
had to
already have it
learn.
in there, and I'm like, okay, well,
I know. Well, let me tell you, try doing that at a microbrewery. Try to drink your beer and spit it out, man. I'll tell you, they do not appreciate that. It is not the same. So
Yeah.
I actually tried that.
Oh, man,
They're
no,
like, what
no.
is she doing? She's spitting her beer out, Shows you what I know about beer, right? Took my wine tasting experience to the beer because I got one of the beer tasting, where they give you the flight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I, wanted to spit it out. So
well, that's okay.
yeah, it wasn't okay. It's okay. I learned. Now I don't do those anymore. I just get
just
one
stick
beer.
with the wine.
Yeah, or stick with
Women
the wine.
of wine country.
Yeah, stick with the wine.
Not women of beer country.
Yeah, Beer Babes is the next one
Beer
we're coming
babes.
up.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. Hopefully
Yeah.
the beer babes will come to the poorhouse again.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beer Babes. That's
Yeah.
like a sidekick, for the younger generation.
Yeah, there you go.
So, it sounds like it's going to be a big, wine and chocolate is going to be a big deal for you.
Yeah.
And did Philip give you any kind of feedback on what you can expect as far as sales and attendance? And
Everybody's
that kind of thing?
been really good about that. The wine commission, they're going to set us up for success initially with how they are operating and what to expect. And actually today I'll get information on that. So we'll know when our doors are open, how many people are coming immediately.
Wow.
Because we will be given a set of glasses.
Okay.
And additional glasses for anybody who may break one or
want to pay. Can they pay at the door if they come to your?
They can pay at the door. It's just more expensive.
Yeah,
I think it's
see that.
$75.
$75. Yeah.
So there will be a protocol that we'll follow, that the wine commission is giving to us. And then as far as the winemakers, I've asked all of them, their experience and being there. And just as long as we've loaded up enough wines of everybody, I think we'll be fine. They never said anything about there being like major case sales.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of those events, just like at ZinFest, where they're going around. They may buy some bottles, and we're hoping to buy more. That's where it's our job to sell.
Right.
And I'm going to equally be asking, our wine partners, encourage the sales when you're pouring. Let them know about the discounts and offers that we're going to be.
It
providing.
benefits everybody.
Absolutely.
Now, so each winery will have their own representative there with their own.
Yes, they will. So you'll get to either meet the winemaker or you'll get to meet a representative.
That's
of the winemaker.
great.
And then I'll fill in wherever I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, how many were there last year? How many wineries were represented last year?
4.
And how many are you going to have this year?
5.
So you have one more.
We have one more. Yeah.
Yeah.
McCollum Cove.
Oh, how
Yes.
exciting. Now, is it the same that you had last year?
Same 4.
And then the extra.
Just our extra.
Now, is this your first year doing it on your own?
It is.
So when's your anniversary? When's your 1 year anniversary?
April 10th.
Ooh.
Yeah, around the corner. And my birthday's April 6th. So when we got the place, it was like an early birthday. And I felt so bad for my best friend and Scott, because they rented like a VRBO out on the coast.
Oh,
and
no.
It was supposed to be a surprise for my birthday. And then Scott, he could see me being very anxious and stressed.
You didn't want to leave.
And so he ended up telling me about it, which I freaked out. I started crying. I said, I cannot believe you guys would even think about taking me away somewhere, knowing that we're signing papers in like 2 days. I'm like, we can't go. We're canceling. So I felt really bad. I'm the worst. You cannot plan a surprise for me.
No.
I ruin it every time.
Yeah,
I can do amazing surprises for everybody else, but I'm just not
like,
I'll
don't
be
do it.
shocked the day that it actually happens for me and that I enjoy it.
Yeah, right. Mostly
know.
it's not enjoyable because you're like, you've got your life scheduled and you know where things are at. And surprises are not
and
fun.
this year I changed up in our house for like better communication, so that if Scott does want to know about, what is going on in my life, not only do I have my address planner, book, but I put a calendar up this year in our house and I wrote everything down. And if I need to add to it, I add to it. And he looked at it and he said, well, it looks like the month's already full. And I said, well, you're just going to have to figure out how to find time in there.
Squeeze it in,
but
babe.
At least you're not going to be left in the dark anymore, because last year it was such a learning curve, and it was hard.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I do, we have 5 minutes. One thing that I do is my husband and I share a calendar on our phones, and anything that I'm doing, I put into the calendar. Now we do that for business, but we also do it for personal stuff, because we have like lunch today with the divas. He had to know about that.
I'll have to see how that merges, because I just went from iPhone to the Google Pixel.
Oh, I see.
And he has a Samsung. So
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe Google Calendar.
Google Calendar.
Yeah,
That's what we use. We use a Google Calendar. We all have iPhones, but we use Google Calendar. Okay, we're going to have to wrap it up, but I would like to give us your address. Tell us anything that you want us to know and invite everybody to come out and see you.
Yes. So if anybody wants to come watch the 49er game, we are going to have the game on. I saw a lot of wineries that are going to be closed.
That's
so
smart.
we decided we're open on Sundays, and I love the 49ers.
Oh, my
so
gosh.
I'm definitely going to encourage
So
people.
you got a Super Bowl party going on.
We're going to do a little Super Bowl party.
Yes, girl.
Hopefully
Now
it's a big one.
So you have, you already have Brie, you already have your cheese platters. Are you
We're
going to
do
anything?
a potluck. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm going to have chips and all kinds of stuff,
Okay.
and I'm just going to throw it
And
out there.
people can bring stuff if they want
Absolutely
to.
bring
Okay.
stuff, yeah. And
Super Bowl
so our
party.
address is 18911 North Lower Sacramento Road, and
Yeah.
we're in Woodbridge, California.
And when do you open on Sunday?
I'll be down there at noon. Well,
Okay.
I'll be down there at 11, but we open at noon, and then the game starts at 3:30. So
Okay.
2 o'clock, I would get down there. Get
your
get
spot.
Your seat.
Yeah.
Get a little bottle of champs or
Yes.
bottle of wine, whatever.
That'll
but,
be
yeah.
fun. You're going to have a full house.
Hopefully.
And then your website?
Our website, you can find us on Facebook. Woodbridge Uncorked is at Woodbridge Uncorked, and then our website is www.woodbridgeuncorked.com.
Yeah, and so when you look them up, it's Woodbridge. It's actually Woodbridge Uncorked Wine Bar and Tap Room.
Oh, yes, it is
That's
wine
how
bar
it
and
comes
tap
up.
room. You're
So
right.
yeah, so that's great. Well, it's
Thank you.
exciting.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for
me.
coming on.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, and Happy New Year to the crowd out here, because now we're in February. You can't say
I
that
know.
anymore.
Can you believe it? Happy New Year. Yeah, it's the last time. Happy
Today's
New Year.
the last day.
Yeah. All right, Bree. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You too.
And I think that's it. I think we're ready to end this show. And just thank you for everybody who came on. And I can't wait to see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.